Welcome to Yahweh Chapel of Truth. Bishop Jolly, we're going to talk about COVID-19 today because there's a lot of fear out there. And it's sad that there's a lot of fear out there. But I want you to try to understand, what we're going through. And so, what I'm looking at right now, I want to tell you about these breakouts, and how this stuff occurred. When COVID-19 came here, it came here very invisible, and the people that put this together in this petri dish, their was intentions was to destroy. That was an evil intention that they have. Now we could have stopped the breakout in the beginning, but people was not being honest with each other. That was in the higher levels, in the president's level. They took this as a joke. You had even your president, Trump. He was telling people to drink bleach. And do you know that some people actually drunk bleach? It was a joke to him, but other people took it serious. Now these outbreaks, when they start, it's better to contain them if you can. Now the outbreak that we are going through, it was not contained. There was nothing in place. And it left the American people weak to this virus because there was nothing in place. They got these arguments going on in the White House. When the next president come in, he wants to throw away what the other president had in place. I don't understand that, because if it's in place for a reason. Now, we did have a H1N1 breakout, but President Obama, he contained it. That was contained. They use the military to contain this stuff, because they know that there's diseases out there. They got diseases out there that don't even have a name to it. When I was with the Marcus Garvey movement, Marcus Garvey movement, I met some of the oldest people that actually was on the ship, the Black Star ship. I met those people. I'd sit down and talk to those people. And some of them have told me when Marcus Garvey came in town, they didn't care if it was raining. They would stand outside in the rain because his message was so important to them. They would stand outside in the rain. I used to take care of one of the oldest members, Mr. Harvey. I used to take care of him. This man was over 100 years old, and he was in his right mind. He was moving around just as good. And he told me some stuff. He told me some stuff that was mind-boggling because they was doing stuff. They had a relationship between the Marcus Garvey here in Ohio and the Marcus Garvey over there. They were trading back and forth, and people were, people was flourishing. And what happened? They saw how powerful this man was, and that people were flourishing. They put some chumped up charges on him. Like they do all of our leaders. They always trying to figure out a chumped up charge to put on somebody, to put him in jail. But you got to understand, all the leaders that we had that was put in jail, when they came out, they was even stronger. You can't stop the truth. You can kill all the people you want to kill, but you can't stop the truth. The truth is coming. So, when I talk to these people, I learned a lot. They told me about my history. They told me about Africa. They told me how all the writing was on the pyramid. They told me how smart our people were. They told me that they could levitate. That's how they built the pyramid. They levitated the pyramids. That's what they did. But the people that went over there, they wasn't always all good people. You had big, good, and bad people that came over there. And they took the information off the pyramid. They broke it down. They took it. They created their own Bible. The Catholics created their Bible. The Mormons created their Bible. The Christian created their Bible. But the Quran being the oldest book, had full knowledge in it. And it was not tampered with. The Quran was on scrolls. They had scrolls and scrolls and scrolls and scrolls and scrolls. Everything they had got from the scrolls, they put it on the pyramids. So when they start creating these books, they start putting stuff in there and taking stuff out. That's why it says in the Bible, it says not to take anything or change anything. People don't care what the Bible says. You know, they take and change and put in there. Sometimes you can find contradictory stuff that's in the Bible. And that's why you need to go to Bible study so you can learn. You can learn and compare the scriptures. Now I'm going to go into the Quran right now. So this is what the Quran is saying, okay? It says Allah, and I call him Yahweh. It says Yahweh reveal may cause some human troubles for two reasons. It's saying that when Yahweh reveals somebody something, you know, because he's out here opening up eyes of people that you don't even think that he would open up their eyes to. He's opened up their eyes. He's changing people's lives. It says it's check a man and a woman's selfishness and the narrowness of their views. And two, it annoys the wicked and causes them to jetter and persecute. See, the wicked get afraid when Yahweh started blessing his people with knowledge and wisdom. And then he shows them what they need to do. And he opened a wide door open for them to go through. Because right now, during this pandemic, the door is so wide open. But many can't get through the door because a lot is dying before they can even get halfway to the door. That's why this is so important that we band together. If you band something together, it's bond. You can't break that. And this is what we have to do. As COVID-19 victims, because we are victims. And the COVID-19 long haulers, the ones that got it in the beginning and they still here. People are afraid. They are afraid because they don't want to die. I understand that. You know, people don't want to go to the hospital because it's a feeding ground. We know that. If we can ride it at home, we ride it out at home. Give us some medicine. And if you got equipment like I got, you can check your own blood pressure, check your sugar, check everything. And if something is off too long, you call a nurse. That's what I do. Let's go back to the Quran and finish up this, okay? Now, it was talking about annoying the wicked. You know, the wicked don't like when God blesses people, in which he is. He's going to bless us. It says, these are merely incident things due to the man and woman own shortcomings. See, wicked people have their own shortcomings, okay? As far as the trouble is concerned, the revelation is meant to give a warning. See, that's what Yahweh does. He gives us a warning before anything happened. Just like before COVID-19 got here, I gave people warnings. I remember a minister had got on Facebook and he had said, you know, that there was no warning. I dibba-dabba that. Because I gave a warning because God gave me a vision. He gave me a vision that something bad was coming. It was going to kill a lot of people. I didn't know what he was talking about. He just told me. He said the worst is going to come and then the people will be blessed. That's what he told me. And I went through the worstest. You don't want to get COVID. You feel like you dying. So you have to be careful, you know. You know, I remember people were having COVID parties so they could get it and get it over with. It kills young people too. You got to practice. You got to practice the rules of keeping yourself safe. I'm going to go on. And as far as the trouble occurred, the revelation is meant to give a warning, like I was saying, so that the prosecutor may be reclaimed of the course of men and women of faith. It is comfort and consolation through that point does not arise in the content that we was talking about. You know, we talking about revelations and how Yahweh is giving out warnings to people. In the next verse it says, if things seem to be wrong in our imperfect vision of this earth, you know, he's letting us know. Look around you. Look at the trees. Look at the grass. Look at everything around you. The air, the water that you breathe. Look around you. We must remember Yahweh, who encompasses of all creation and sits on the throne of grace and mercy, is in commandment of our faith, telling us that all things must be right. And all things must be right. You must be right with yourself. You must be right with Yahweh and his word. Yahweh authority is not an authority on earth. Okay, the authority on earth, it may let these people that brought this terrorist act to our country and brought this COVID here, they're not going to do none of them. They still out there. China don't care. You know, and United States, we just sitting around, you know, and we trying to come up with something to help the people. But even the stuff that they came up with to help the people, the vaccination, some of the vaccination really killed people in the beginning. And I understand that. And I'm sorry that those people died. But they, you know, the sacrifice that they made, they shouldn't have made it. You know, I had to make a sacrifice like that when I was when I got COVID, and I was actually dying. I went through a research. It saved me. That's what I did. And the research saved me. But the research that God, see, I got to say God again, Yahweh. He's the one that offered me the research through the doctor. That's what I believe. And she was a good doctor. Very good. Okay, let's go back again. And it says that which may not last. This authority is firmly established. Now, God's authority is firmly established. This establishment on earth may not last because these books that they have, they need to change some of these laws. Some of these laws been around a little bit too long. And we need people that can go through these books and challenge these laws so they can be taken off the books. But we don't have people doing that. We need more people of color on the victim of crime board. We don't have that either. People have to participate. You can participate from home now. You ain't even got to go in the office. You can participate from home. And if you participate digitally, you'll be able to see the graphic chart go up. Okay, the last one that I'm going to give you here, it says an exhaustion definition of everything that we can conceive of what is in the heavens, on the earth, in between, or within the bowels of the earth. God is telling us something there. Look at the trees. When you go outside, you ground yourself in the ground. Your feet are grounded all the way down to the core of the earth. Gotta understand, a tree lay dormant during the wintertime, but when the summertime comes, it flourished so beautifully. God did that. Man didn't do that. God created that tree from a seed. So you tell me that if God would create something, he's going to create a cure. That's what God is going to create. You know, he's not going to let his people suffer by the hands of wicked people. And it's wrong. You violate people's civil rights and you think people shouldn't say nothing. You think we should sit on our hands and just let you keep violating us. We are the long haulers. You want us to die off so we don't have to challenge your authority. But it's nothing wrong, like I tell young people, to challenge authority. But do it in respect. I'm challenging your authority. And I'm doing it in respect. The last president was in office. I wrote him a letter. I challenged him. I told him what was wrong. I told him this was deadly. He did not listen to me.